when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Tio his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy, like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy.
Too much of it. I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it.
Shut me up.
Shakur,
Shut me up.
real quick, Shakur.
I'm right here. Shut me up. Shut me up.
At the press conference, Teofimo Lopez sent a clear and serious warning to Shakur Stevenson. He said he's ready to make a strong statement in the ring and prove what he can really do. Even if people see him as the underdog, he believes that only pushes him harder. Lopez warned that doubting him is a mistake and promised a performance so dominant that no one will question his skill, power, or determination.
Money talk, walk, money talk.
I'm coming in here to beat his ass. He gonna come, he gonna be tough, strong, but I'm coming to whoop his ass. I stand by that. I stand by that. I'm fucking him up. Yeah. I'm fucking him up.
You guys need. This is what boxing needs. This is why we're here. We're here to take over. Now we got this lightweight coming up to super lightweight to come over here and dethrone the champ.
They kept bringing up protection and excuses, but Lopez believes only action counts. Teofimo Lopez is showing real fire ahead of his fight with Shakur Stevenson. He's calm, focused, and ready to take over in the ring. Lopez says he's coming to prove his skill, strength, and fight IQ. His mindset is locked in, win the fight and leave no doubt about who he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna beat him up.
And we know at one point you contemplated retirement. Seems like you're in a good place now. You're active. Where are you at right now? Where are you feeling about your career?
Mentally, I'm in the Bahamas somewhere.
Koya breaks down the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight and believes it will likely go all 12 rounds. He says the first 6 rounds will decide everything. Shakur probably won't rush in early. Instead, he'll stay patient, move on the back foot, and read what Lopez brings. If Teofimo wins the early rounds clearly, it could force Shakur to change gears later and make the second half of the fight more dangerous and competitive. Lopez is seen as a fast starter who feeds off energy and explosiveness, but the big question is whether he can keep that pace for the full fight. If Shakur feels he's behind early, he'll have to open up late, leading to a tense and dramatic finish. But if Lopez drops the first few rounds, Shakur could settle in and cruise to a clear decision. In the end, this fight is a chess match where timing, stamina, and smart round-by-round execution will decide who wins.
For being in the ring,
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson. Obviously,
sure.
you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Yeah, face-off happened, things of that nature, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face-to-face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think, I don't think too much of it. I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next.
Shakur Stevenson says his motivation comes from a deep competitive fire and a constant need to face the hardest challenges in boxing. After watching Teofimo Lopez fight, he noticed Lopez's confident, flashy style reminded him of a young Roy Jones, which made him want to test himself against that kind of talent. Shakur sees this fight as a major chance to measure himself against a true elite while adjusting to a different type of opponent. Looking back at his bout with William Zepeda, he admits it was awkward and tough, but it helped him grow and proved he can perform under pressure. He learned that fighters who bring non-stop pressure are meant to push him, and he showed he can control that style. Now against Lopez, Shakur feels ready for the speed, power, and unpredictability of a top-level rival. With his focus, adaptability, and experience, he believes he can handle the fight smartly and turn it into a full test of his skills, mindset, and place among the best in the sport.
I think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds. You know, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, you know, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Teo comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does that, then Shakur has to fight in the tail end of that fight, and that'll make it real interesting. If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Teo looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Teo is going to bring anything late in the game, you know, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where, he doesn't have this Diego Corrales fight, you know what I mean, where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think could get...
Chris Algieri says the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight is huge for boxing and exactly what the sport needs. He believes the best fighters should face each other without fear of losing, because taking risks is how the sport grows. Algieri adds that even if a top fighter takes a loss, they can still remain elite and respected.
You know, looking at a fighter that you know is the truth, and then saying, I want to fight him. It seems like it should be normal if you're a fighter, right? But that stuff is dying off in the game right now, and I feel like you one of the last of the dying breed that actually want real challenges.
Yeah, I'm competitive, bro, so it's like, I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Teo his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy, like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy, and I thought it was cool. So it kind of made me want to get in the ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Your last fight was against William Zepeda in July, and you fought a totally different way. It wasn't the easiest way or the best way to fight, but I think it was good for you and your development, because it not only sent a message to the rest of the division, one up, your division at that time, and then the one above you, but it sent a message to the fans. But I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like, guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's gonna have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against the ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to like...
Algieri believes this fight represents that philosophy perfectly. It's a high-level clash, not a wild brawl with endless punches. The skill, timing, and strategy will keep fans locked in, showing that quality matters more than volume. He says a win for Shakur would lock him into the top 5 to 7 pound-for-pound fighters, even though many already feel he belongs there. Algieri also calls this a throwback-style matchup, like the classic battles between the best in a division. He highlights the drama, technique, and history behind these kinds of fights, saying the build-up and chess match feel prove that elite boxing is still exciting and meaningful today.
There's nothing like the Garden. we've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I've said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made, and putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, but going back and forth saying, like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo's going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him.
But I'll tell you what. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's.
Bruce Carrington breaks down Teofimo Lopez's matchup with Shakur Stevenson and points out a key weakness in Lopez's style: trouble with constant movement. Even with his natural athleticism and knockout power, Lopez can struggle when an opponent keeps changing angles and controlling space. Carrington says Shakur's calm, smart approach could expose that by making Lopez overreach or miss his moments. By managing distance and tempo, Stevenson can force Lopez to fight at his pace instead of his own. While Lopez shines in explosive bursts, relying too much on power can backfire against a patient, mobile fighter. Shakur's defense and ability to reset after every exchange could frustrate Lopez and drain his energy as the rounds go on. In the end, Carrington believes Lopez must improve his movement and patience to beat a technician like Stevenson, because in this fight, footwork, timing, and ring IQ may matter more than raw athleticism alone.
Teo's gonna bring the fight. He's very athletic. You know, he has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover? You know, we've seen, you know, difficulties that he had with Sandor Martin. We've seen the difficulties that he had with Jimmy Ortiz, guys that's been moving around and not staying still. Like, if you keep Teo moving around and he can't plant his feet, what can he do? We're going to have to find that out on, you know, January 31st. And I think Shakur, he's probably one of the best guys to, you know, move his feet, be on defense, being hella patient and frustrating a fighter, bro. Like, so, I don't know. We've seen Teo get frustrated to the point where he's asking himself, do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? We got to see what his mentality is going to be like come January 31st.
Do you think that his experience on the biggest of stages, you know, his two biggest wins, he was an underdog. Then both guys, ironically enough, were southpaws like Shakur. That play any factor to you, man?
Nah, styles is different. The styles are totally different. Lomachenko don't fight like Shakur. Josh Taylor don't fight like Shakur. Like I don't see just because southpaw that same thing will happen. I feel like certain techniques will be used to fight Shakur, yeah. But in terms of like that approach of the fight, nah. Like Shakur fights totally different. You gotta be able to do some out of pocket stuff with Shakur. You gotta throw while he's throwing. That's probably some of the only times that he's able to get hit. You know, only time he's open. So yeah, other than that.
Gary Antoine Russell looks at a specific version of Teofimo Lopez, not just his overall talent. He points to Lopez's fight with Vasily Lomachenko as the perfect example of when Lopez is at his best. Russell says Lopez is most dangerous when he mixes aggression with control. He stays calm while applying heavy pressure, forcing opponents into bad spots without leaving himself open to counters. That balance of intensity and discipline makes him very hard to deal with. According to Russell, when Lopez fully commits to his game plan, pushing the pace, using his athleticism, and striking with perfect timing, he can take over rounds and keep even top-level fighters on the back foot.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, look, like you said, the first thing you said was bluffing McMuffin, right? So you don't think that he's gonna do that. Let's just say that's the case. Let's say he wins this fight, but he doesn't win this fight. Whatever happens.
Right, because you made a statement after he said all that shit. I'm gonna go back down to 35. So which one is it, man? He kind of 6'7" with.
No, there you go.
Come on, which one is it?
So let's talk about 140 then, because obviously there's other champions there. One who you've been going back and forth with recently online, one that you have history with. And you got other guys, Shubriel there, somebody else you had history, Richardson Hitchens. What's the route for you going forward after your next fight?
After my next fight, unify. I've always let it be known. I want to be undisputed in my division. I want to unify. Anybody who got a title at the time, that's what I need to see next. After my next upcoming fight.
Gary, just talk about, obviously your division is hot right now. This fight, your fight coming up, you know, maybe one of the biggest ones in Teofimo versus Shakur. Just looking at that fight stylistically, how does it play out in the ring?
It's 50-50. You know, in order for you to participate in this sport, you gotta have a high level of confidence. I feel like both of them has a high level of confidence. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, but styles make fights. Naturally, I think Teofimo Lopez is stronger than Shakur. Naturally, I think he has more athleticism than Shakur. And he got a good IQ on the sport itself. But Shakur, I feel like he's a more smarter fighter. He's a more technical fighter. You know, I'm not saying that he's a square or he's just a textbook fighter, but he's seasoned, he's poised. I feel like mentally he's more mature. Like, he don't go outside of the boundaries on...
Russell also points out that Lopez's explosiveness and power become even more dangerous when they're matched with patience and control. That's when he lands clean, meaningful shots without putting himself at risk. Looking at the Lomachenko fight, Russell shows that Lopez's success isn't just about raw talent or physical gifts. It's about smart execution, adaptability, and strong mental focus. When Lopez stays composed and strategic, he turns into a true high-level operator in the ring, someone who controls the fight instead of just reacting.
You know, that's why everybody was criticizing him for, oh, he's a born fighter. He's a careful fighter. And I feel like with Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be a careful fighter. Now, just because he's a careful fighter doesn't mean that he isn't punctual with how he do things. I think Shakur, he got a lot of this arsenal that he can use to make him be victorious as well as Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So it's a 50-50 fight, and it depends on what fighters show up the night of the fight. Right. You know? But if I had to give you my whole honest truth, if Teofimo Lopez show up and is ready to fight just like how he fought Lomachenko,
stay tuned until next time.